Hi, let's talk about how we can model a terrain. So the terrain modeling can be done with our same method as the brush tool that we can find in the soft selection tab. So for this, I'm going to create a plane. And let's go to our clay modeling and hit the G key. Alright, so now we need some more polygons and vertices here in this surface for us to start modeling our terrain. And for this, we can just leave it for the moment at a 4x4 and convert this to an edit poly. And now if we go to our modifiers, we have this option down here which is called the paint deformation, which again works similar to the soft selection. Inside the paint deformation, we can see that we have a push and a pull option and also a relax. Let's see what happens if I just select this brush. And we also have some values here for push and pull, but because we don't have enough vertices and polygons basically, we won't have much to play with. So we must add more polygons to this mesh. And the way that we could do that is by going to our edit geometry, and here we have the mesh smooth. So if I press the mesh smooth, again it's basically like a turbo smooth, it will just smoothen up our geometry by adding more polygons. Let's go back to our paint deformation and inside push and pull. Let's try that again. You can see that now I'm able to have a bit more of freedom to create this terrain. Now the brush options have some extra values here, which is called the push and pull value. And if I just lowered it down to maybe 1.8 centimeters, you can see that the pull works in a more soft way. If I want to do the opposite, not pull, but rather push, I'll just press the Alt key. Now I'm going to increase the brush size value, and I'm just going to edit a little bit more. And also the push and pull value, let's go for 4 centimeters, around 4 centimeters. And we could just start modeling some kind of terrain like so. So with our Alt key, and let's just say that I have some kind of river here. So just by holding my shift key, I can just create some kind of design here for our context. Okay, once I'm done, I'll just right click. Now let's say that we have some slopes on our terrain. I'll just grab another plane for this example. And this time I'll just leave these extra edges here. And the way to do this, let's convert this to an edit poly first. And we could either just grab the vertices or the edges and just play around with our z-axis there and create some type of slope. Now again, I'm going to select my geometry and go to my edit geometry tab and mesh smooth like this. Now I'm going to go back to my paint deformation and use the push and pull. Now I'm just going to increase the value for my brush size like this and start modeling some kind of landscape. Again, maybe we have a river that comes all the way from up here and then it just disappears like this. So we're going to be seeing much more of this as we have to see the different types of ground that we have. For example, if it's winter, we will have a snow, and snow is actually a little bit more soft, or we can have a rocky ground. In that case, we would have a value much more higher, probably 25 or so. Or we can try to 35 centimeters and lower down the brush size and something like this. We could also use a modifier for this type of terrains, which is called the displacement mod. Down here, we will find Corona displacement mod, and this modifier works with maps. We're not going to be looking at our material editor yet, so we really can't apply without that knowledge any maps here. But we will see it in the future, don't worry about it. And now let's say that we wanted to have a water material here where we have our river or a lake. The way to do that is by creating a plane. And let's just create it like so. And just overlapping it with our terrain here and drag it down so that this will represent basically our water. So it's going to be a fun lecture when we get to the material creation and just play around with our terrains using our paint deformation tools. But for now, let's just keep practicing, create your own terrains, and go crazy with this. That's it for this lecture. See you.